Thanks, Denny, and welcome back to the final segment of Investing with Confidence. As always, I am your host, Joshua David, and as we get into these markets, these phenomenal opportunities that we're seeing in these markets, we talk about other markets than just the stock market, options, futures, Forex, and cryptocurrency. You know what, Al, these opportunities that we're seeing right now in these investing classes that we're doing, we're seeing a lot of people come in that are brand new. I mean, we talked about earlier, some people just aren't in the markets right now. Opportunities are being missed right now. So it's about getting educated and learning how to do that. And we start with an investing class right here in Bloomington or virtually. So you can just call 952-814-4410 or just text the word invest to the number 484848. You'll receive a text back with a link and a little preview video of the investing class that you're going to come to. So, Al, in this final segment, I want to talk a little bit about, we got into income generating strategies and how investors like to utilize those income-generating strategies, whether for fun. I mean, you got to talk about a little bit of fun, right?
You should.
But using that to kind of have the opportunity to fill a wealth bucket, which is a 401k, IRA, whatever that may be, and they just don't know if they have the time to do that. So I want you to kind of talk about the day in the life of a trader investor, and let's talk more about how a trade is actually placed in the markets. It's with a platform. So I want to just real quick, just paint a little picture on what that looks like, so our listeners understand and say, hey, you know what? I can do that. If you can click a mouse button, you can trade.
Well, that's exactly right. It is basically pushing a couple of buttons, and you're in a trade. You're protected if you're right. You're protected if you're wrong. One of the goals that we have had over the years is to simplify the process as much as possible, and that's what we've done with Click, with our platform that our students, by the way, we give them to use. That platform helps them to go through this process in just a matter of a few minutes to actually place a trade. But that a lot of people think they need to spend a lot of time analyzing something. They need to look at the books of a company. In other words, the fundamentals. Or look at 3 or 4 different kinds of indicators, most of which are they're lagging indicators. They've already happened. Those are a lot of things that we've been kind of conditioned by Wall Street to do. You don't need to do those things, especially if you're looking at that income portion of your life, the short-term part. The fundamentals are really almost worthless, if not totally worthless, in short-term trading. And think about it. If you've watched the market over the last month or couple of months, you've seen numerous days where we have had the market go down several hundred points, then come back several hundred points, then go down several hundred points. Individual assets doing the same thing. The fundamentals did not change every time that happened. It gets down to what we concentrate on, and that's buyers and sellers that have come in to move the market. So if we can show you how to identify these things, and by the way, anytime you learn something new, there's a learning process that's involved, and a lot of people kind of fear the unknown.
But you know what? You know how great it feels to learn something new?
Fantastic.
It feels fantastic.
Yeah, it feels fantastic. And here's the great thing, Josh. If you learn the proper way, if you learn with the guidance of somebody that knows how to do it, your brain becomes conditioned and trained to be able to identify things that you can use to your benefit. And that's what happens with our students over the course of time. They really become conditioned to be able to do these things with much less input on their part. You don't have to go through all this analysis. In fact, all the work is basically done by the big institutions, and we can just follow what they're doing. We can use what they're doing, fortunately, because they kind of telegraph to us what they're doing. So you choose. You choose what you want your day to look like. You choose what you want your week or your month to look like. And then you have a plan that we help you put together that really is specific to you, that kind of takes into consideration those things. And let's just say you're going to go on a trip. I remember years ago when we'd go traveling, my wife would be sitting on the passenger seat with about 8 maps, trying to figure out which direction to go.
The Hudson, right?
Yeah. Now all you do is on your GPS system, you put in where you want to go. And the GPS system not only takes you there, but it takes you there in a way where you go around the detours, you go around the accidents and so forth. That's the same thing that a trading plan should do. It should help you get from where you are to where you want to be with the least amount of effort and concern and complication.
Yep.
So the day in the life of a trader really is not much different than the day that you go through right now.
Yeah, that's right. I'm glad you brought up, a lot of people were told to go analyze stocks, go find out the earnings reports and all these, the company balance sheet and the high uppers and all that stuff. What are they doing? I mean, are they making good decisions? Well, you know what? We're told to do that because Wall Street wants to go and tell us to go and confuse ourselves. Because it's just an opinion when it comes down to it. And do you think you have a better opinion than Wall Street? No. So that's why it's important to have a rules-based system and a strategy that's designed to teach you to make better investing decisions already created for you. An Online Trading Academy on their 25th year is, still developing this because markets always change. So you evolve with the market. And I think that's why the longevity of Online Trading Academy is so key. It's just understanding how to utilize these markets in all market conditions. And in placing a trade, as Al was talking about, it's a click of a button. It's entering your position. So say you want to buy Apple stock, I'm not trying to pump up Apple, but just as an example, you place your buy, you place your protection, and it's just a click of a button on the screen. So it's a buy and a stop loss for protection and a target. Right. And when price comes to that, so you wait, as Al was talking about with hunting, as you wait, price comes to that, the computer executes that automatically, and then it's going to go to your target or your protection. So it doesn't really matter what it does if you have a rules-based strategy and you just follow it.
Yeah,
That's
and you don't have to be there. You could be out hunting or fishing or playing golf. The software is going to do the work for you.
Correct. So if you want to learn more about that step-by-step process to make a smarter investing decision or even a smarter trading decision, we have investing classes right here in Bloomington. Call 952-814-4410 or just text the word invest to the number 484848. We also do these online. When you text us, you're going to receive a text back with a link for the schedule plus a little video on what you're going to learn in this upcoming workshop. Al, so I wanted you to do one thing real here. We have a lot of listeners that haven't really taken that jump to get into the financial markets and, get into these opportunities. I was actually talking with someone here this week, and they were talking about, I've listened to the show for so long, and I finally, said, hey, you know what? I'm going to text in or I'm going to call in. And they're like, I'm glad I did. Oh, just inspire people to take advantage of these opportunities real quick. I know we're getting close to the end here.
Yeah, well, most of our students actually have said, I think over 70% in the surveys, and we have our students do a survey every time they take a class, over 70% said they wish they had done this earlier. Why would they say that? Well, because they're receiving the benefits now. The earlier you start, the greater those benefits can be and the greater that power of compounding can be for you. A lot of people, when you think about it, where do you get your advice? If you're going to make a decision or make an investment, where do you get that advice? Is it on YouTube? Is it by reading an article, or is it from a friend? A lot of people use family members because they trust them. Our students learn to do this so they can trust themselves because you're the person that you should trust the most. And when you learn how to do this without looking at opinions as being the way, but looking at rules that are designed to get you to the point where you have the highest potential or the highest opportunity to be successful, that's where the trust and the confidence comes. And it should come in yourself.
Yeah, the fun thing about doing this show with you, Al, we've been doing it for a long time. And I hope what we talk about inspires you to get started because, these techniques and strategies, these aren't new.
They're not new.
They're just a little bit different. And, the most people just don't have what they need to do the things that they want to do. So it's about doing different things, taking advantage of other opportunities, and going for it. You have to sometimes, I was teaching a class a couple weeks ago, and I said, you know what, sometimes you got to burn your bridge. Because you can't go back. Then you have to do it. And if you need to do this, you have to have a burning desire to make something happen. You know what? And so I'm going to inspire people to take a change, and to also take a chance. It's one of those 3 C's. So, Al, it's coming to the end of the show here, and I'm going to give away one last set of tickets to an investing class for here in Bloomington. You teach these every single week. I teach these as well. And these are classes where we've taught thousands, just like you, are many strategies, and these are designed to teach you to make better investing decisions. So call 952-814-4410 for 2 tickets. That's 952-814-4410. Or just text the word invest to the number 484848. You'll get a text back right away with a link, which is otamin.com. That's otaminn.com. Pick a date for this class. You can come in center here in Bloomington or right online. We'll come straight to your house. virtually. Al, you always have some great words of wisdom. I want you to combine something, some words of wisdom and the OTA tip of the week here.
Okay, you know what, Josh? We deal with procrastination a lot. That's an issue. But, with most things in life, we can put off doing something knowing we can do it tomorrow or next week. If you want to play golf, the course is going to be there tomorrow. If you want to go fishing, the fish will still be in the lake tomorrow. But what about financial opportunities? Every opportunity available today will not be there tomorrow. Every dollar that could have been realized today can never be realized again. So every dollar missed is one that can never go to work for you, providing more dollars. It's the loss of the magic of compounding. And, the more you procrastinate, the more you delay what could be and what your full potential could be. Sadly, this is our last show on WCCO. If you have been listening and putting off calling in, this will be your last opportunity. Don't let this be one of those opportunities that you let go by.
It's all about taking action, Al. Call 952-814-4410 for this investing class here in Bloomington, or text the word INVEST to the number 484848. As always, great time here on WCCO. We will see you in Bloomington at Online Trading Academy.